Hi, Mike McMillan here. Thanks for stopping by. And today in this video, we will talk about making jump cuts and we will answer the three following questions. The first question is, what exactly is a video jump cut? And two, why would we use jump cuts in our videos? And three, how can we add some clever special effects to our jump cuts? Okay, well, first, let's take a look at what a jump cut is, how you can make one, and then how you can embellish it a little bit and make it look a little snappier. Okay, so what I have here is I have about a 25 second clip of this girl, and we'll come down here. Let me just play it while I'm talking so you can get an idea of what it is. She's looking at a tablet, having a good time, like she's all happy and giggly and everything. Okay, so I like that. It's cute. And then in the middle, she gets a little bit more serious right here. Okay, and yeah, that's all cool. But then at the end, towards the last 10 seconds or so, she gets all happy and giggly again. So I like this. Okay, so what I need and what I wanted to use this for is I needed about 15 seconds of B-roll that I could use in a larger video. And B-roll is just an extra little clip that you put in to your main video to break it up a little bit. Now there's no sound in this particular video, it's just video. Okay, I'll show you sound in one in just a second, but basically I'm looking for 15 seconds of this clip that I can use. Download my free ebook showing exactly how to grow your YouTube channel. Just click on the link in the description below this video. So when I come back here, if you watch this, see how happy she is, all giggly and everything. And then she calms down a little bit, gets a little more serious in the middle. So I could come back here, let's say at about 8 seconds right there. Okay, and I'm going to click on the video down in my timeline here. I use ScreenFlow, and in ScreenFlow, if you just hit the letter T, it makes a cut for you. So now you can see I've divided it into two different videos. And now what I'll do is come out here to, let's say about 17 or 18 seconds, maybe right about here. Now she looks kind of serious right here, but it's where she starts to get happy again. Okay, so I'll make a cut right in here, just like that. Okay, now you can see what I have is I have three different clips. I have the first happy part, the more serious part, and then the last happy part. So what I can do is I'll come in here and I'm just going to hit delete. Okay, just like that. So now I've deleted the sort of sad, the serious part, and I've got two happy parts to this clip. And actually this is about 17 seconds, but I can work with that. I'm just going to do a voiceover over this in my main video when I use this. So now let's just take a look at what this looks like. Come through, that's where I made the cut. Now see, there's a little jump in the action right here. Bang, right there. See, and that's kind of disturbing to me. I don't really, like to see that. So I'm going to use a little trick I'll show you, and maybe you want to try this in one of your videos, is I come into the second part of the video, the second clip that I've made right here. And what I'm going to do is drag one of the corners in this video and make it bigger. Make it bigger so it looks something like that. Okay? And now what I want to do is when you watch this, let's see what happens. Okay? Okay, so I just made a jump cut, and it's called a jump cut because I jumped from one part of my clip to another part of my clip. I made a jump there, and I created a new video that I've deleted part of that. And when you see this, there's my jump cut. And now you don't notice that jitteriness in the jump cut because I've expanded it out and made it bigger. So that's a good example of a jump cut, just like that. Okay, and then she's happy and giggly all through the whole thing, and I like that. I could use that. So that's an example, a good example of a jump cut and how you could, add to it a little bit and make it look a little smoother. Okay, well, what I'd like us to do in the second example, this will be doing a jump cut like we did in the first example, but I'm going to add a little bit to it. So what this is, it's only a 12-second video. I've got a couple mistakes in there that I don't like. I'm sure you'll pick up on these, but let's just listen to the 12 seconds. Okay, well, I know that I can do this. And I think that you can do this as well. But today, what I'd like us to do is to try to work on this together, okay? All right, well, what I've got here, and I'm sure you picked up on these, right here I have an in there. I try to keep the ums and uhs, things like that, to a minimum because they can get distracting. So that's one problem area. We're not going to deal with that one here because I would do the same process for both of these. The other one is out here someplace. Let's see. Today, what I'd like us to do today, okay, so I've got a cough in here, right here. This is the cough right in this section right there, okay? So what I am going to do is I'll click on both the audio and video portions, and right before I cough, I'll hit T. I showed you in the last example in ScreenFlow, if you hit T, it cuts whatever you've got highlighted. And then I'll come out beyond the cough. There's a little dead space. I'll come out to where I start talking again after the cough right here. I'll hit T again, and once again, I'll delete that. Okay, so we have some dead space in here, right there. So what I'll do is highlight both of the following sections, and I'll drag them back. So, in fact, I've made a jump cut, but let's look at this, and I'll show you something I don't like about it. Today, what I'd like us to do is there's a little jump in there, right here. Today, what I'd like us to see how my hands jump up in there one more time. Today, what I'd like us... Okay, that's because I did a jump cut. I took some of the video and audio sections out. So what I need to do, what I would like to do is first, I'm going to do something like I did in the first video, and I will click on this clip. I need to make it smaller. And what I'll do is drag this out, make it bigger so that I come in just like this. Now, let me explode this out so it's the regular size. And we'll come in one more time right here. Today, what I'd like us to do, okay, try to work on see that works. Today, what I'd like us to do. So I made a jump cut there, just like I did in the first one, and I exploded the view out so you miss that jerkiness. Well, but today, what I'd like us to do is in the jump cut. Okay, that works great, and I could use that. But one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here in this first section, and there's a little gearbox here. Now, hopefully your video editing software will let you do this. Good ones will, but where it says add ending transition, I'm going to click on that, and let me just show you right here. And you can see that I'm using a thing called a cross dissolve. There are all these transitions you can use in here. I'm going to use a cross dissolve, and that's what it is. That's this transition right in this area right here. So now when I come in and do this, let me just show you. Today, what I'd like us to do, see how it fades out, and then it comes back in. But I'm going to move this over so that that transition is very small. But today, what I'd like us to do, now in this one, this fades it out and then it pops back in here. I'm going to do the same thing over here, except instead of an ending transition, I'm going to do a starting transition. And you can see right here is that transition, and I'm going to squeeze it way down, something like that. Squeeze this over just a little bit more. And so what that does, you can see right here. But today, what I'd like us to do is to see it fades out and it fades in. That's what I like to do with, use transitions like this with a lot of my videos, and I think that works really well. One more time. But today, what I'd like it fades out and it fades into the big view that I've got there. So that's one thing I do to make my jump cuts sort of smooth out. Okay, good. Let's look at one more example. Okay, well, what I'll do in this third and final example is use two different techniques to create some jump cuts and kind of transition between those. So let me just show you this. This is a 34-second clip. And basically what it is, let me show you down here. Basically what it is, it's a guy and a girl. They're out in the woods having a snowball fight, having a great time, you know. And I won't waste your time watching the whole thing, but I'll scrub across quickly so you can get an idea of what's going on. Okay, so they're having a good snowball fight, having a good time out there. Okay, so we'll stop that. And what I'm going to do is let me play this just for a second and watch this. Okay, the girl picks up a snowball right here. She throws it at her husband, boyfriend, brother, whoever it is. It hits him in the shoulder, and it glances down into the snow right there and disappears. Okay? So in my timeline, I'll highlight my timeline there. I'm going to make a cut. Like I said, in ScreenFlow, if you just hit the letter T, it makes a cut for you. Okay. So I have made one cut. Now, it's not a jump cut because I haven't cut anything out of this. I've just, made a cut and divided it. So let me let this play a little bit. And right here, he's getting ready to throw a snowball back. Okay. So I'll make a cut right here. And in here, there are no snowballs being thrown. See, they're just moving around there. So I'll delete that section. And what I want to do is squeeze this section down, sort of compress it, get it down to 10 or 15 seconds instead of 30 seconds. So now I'll move this over. And you can see now when we let this play, the girl throws the snowball, there's a jump cut, and now he's throwing it back. And there's no wasted footage in there where they're just walking around. Okay, one more time, right here. This happens, and then this happens. Okay, now, what I'd like us to look at is right here, what I'm going to do is take this second clip where he throws the snowball back, and I'm going to, watch this, I'm dragging it over the first clip. Okay, just like that. And what this will do, it'll create sort of a double exposure in here, which is going to be kind of neat. Because now when I let this play, let's see what happens. Okay, she throws the snowball right there, and look at, did you see what happened? Let me just scrub slowly through here. Okay, right here is the point that I dragged that second clip over. And so now as we go forward, you can see he's ducking the snowball or moving out of the way. But look at right there. In this same video, while he's ducking down, he's also coming in and throwing that. So it's kind of a double exposure effect that we created. See that? Okay, that's kind of cool. So now what I would do is come in here. We'll do another jump cut. And just like this, there's the girl, she's kind of looking up, and this technically is not a jump cut, but I'm going to make a cut right there, okay? And I'm going to decrease my viewing area down, and then I will grab one of the corners on this video and drag it up quite a ways so that I have her in frame, but much bigger. So now when we play this, what it looks like is there's the double exposure thing, the snowball comes in, and then see, she gets big right away. See, just like that. Okay, so we did that. And now there's kind of a lull in the action. Let me go back and let's do this at full size. She throws the snowball, the double exposure. We zoom in on her, and now let me shrink this down a little bit. Now we've got a little lull in the action. Okay, from here, okay, they're playing around. She's going to get a snowball right here. Nothing's really going on. No snowballs are being launched. Okay, but right here, he's getting ready to throw a snowball back. I think that's what's going on. I'm going to delete that because all they were doing was walking around. Okay, so right here, just like that. Let me blow this up full size again. There's the snowball coming in. We exploded the view on her. And now we came back in, and she's going to get him with her snowball. There's the one that he threw. Okay, so I'm going to make a cut right here. All right, and she's coming up. Here she comes. Now right here, I'll make another cut. Now this will be a jump cut because this is just where she's walking around. So I'll come back in, and right here, bang. She throws once, and then right here, she's going to throw a second time. So I'll make a cut there. And I think what I'll do, let's reduce the viewing area. And again, I'll blow this up and move it down so it looks kind of like this. So when we get all done, right here, let me get it full size again so you can see it better. Here's the girl. She makes the throw, jump cut, the double exposure thing. Okay, we did a jump cut there, cut some walking around out, so it was a snowball. There was a jump cut. Right here, another jump cut, so she gets the second snowball in, and that's it. Okay, now I have trimmed this down to right here at the end to 15 seconds. It was just over 15 seconds. And at the start it was 34 seconds, so I cut the time down by half, but I sped the action up because I cut out all the walking around stuff. It's all snowballs in the air, okay? So that's just an example of, you know, how you could get a couple jump cuts in there. And in the previous example, I showed you how to use transitions like that cross dissolve. And here I showed you how to use that double exposure thing by overlapping two segments of a video after you make a jump cut. And so these are just examples of different ways you can jump cut, either to compress a video and make it smaller, not quite as long, or to take out errors, or to use some artistic effects to create, you know, a good look in your videos. So why don't you think about that? As always, this is Mike McMillan, and I wish you the very best, most sincerest, best wishes for tremendous success in all of the videos that you make on YouTube. Okay? You guys take care. I love you all. You're the best.